Okay, so let's start in a standing position, but maybe standing a little close to the front end of your mat. So normally I would say, oh, stand to the back edge of your mat, but just so that you don't have to do a lot of fussing once we get to where we're going. So stand maybe towards the front end of your mat, toes and knees pointing forward, and I'll face you just so you can have your view. But let your body just kind of settle into a soft standing position. So a little softness in the knees, a little softness in your feet. Feel the ground nice and solid underneath your feet. And then just let your awareness come up into your shoulders. Take a nice big inhale and let your shoulders lift up to your ears. And then as you exhale, roll your shoulders down and back. Nice, big, generous movement with the shoulders. Inhale, let your shoulders lift up to your ears. Exhale and roll your shoulders around, down and back. And then let's do one more just like that. Inhale and let your shoulders lift up to your ears. Exhale, big roll around, down and back. And then start to find a little gentle twist. So both feet solid on the ground. Hips stay mostly facing forward, but then they're going to start to follow the torso as you let your arms move. And then just notice here, notice your low back, notice your hips, notice your knees. So as you try to keep your feet stationary here, you might notice that your knees want to try and move with you. Take one more little twist with your feet solid on the ground, and then we're going to step the feet just slightly wider and then allow your feet to pivot with you. So step your feet out just a little bit and then start to take that twist into a bigger movement. And then if you like that little energetic work, make light little fists and give a little tap to the hips and a little tap to the low back. So think tap your kidneys, tap your hips, and just let your feet and your knees pivot with you. Nice. And then we're going to take those arms and let them kind of come up the body. So think about bringing it up to the ribs. And then think about bringing it up and over a shoulder and then over the other shoulder. Nice. And then bring it back down, maybe towards the ribs. And then maybe bring it down back towards the hips. And then start to slow it down, let everything come to a little stillness, but with still that nice wide position of the feet. And then we're just going to take our light little fists and start to tap. Tap down the outsides of the thighs. Keep your knees nice and bent here. Tap all the way down across the tops of the feet. Tap up the insides of the legs. Come to your belly and give your belly a little rub. And you can keep your hands in those little fists. And then we're going to take it back down. Tap down the outsides of the thighs, down the calves, up the insides of the legs, all the way up to the belly. Give your belly a little rub. Beautiful. One more just like that. Tap down the outsides of the legs, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs, to your belly. Give your belly a little rub. Nice. And then keeping a light little fist, we're going to work up the side body. So lift one arm up and just give a little tap up and down the side of your body. Beautiful. One more time, up and down on this side. And then take it over to the other side, a light little fist. And we're just tapping up and down the side of the body. Nice. One more up and down on this side, and then we're going to take it up and down the arm. So a light slap here, you might open your palm and then just slap up the outside of the arm and down the in, and just take a couple down, up and down. Awesome. One more up and down on this arm, and then we're going to take it over to the other side. So maybe an open palm, a light slapping up the arm and then down the inside of the arm. Beautiful. One more slap up and down. And then let your arms just kind of hang out at your sides, and we're going to take it down into the heels with a little bit of a bounce. So as you're up towards the top edge of your mat, you're just going to start to pop your heels, finding a little bit of a vibration. So just let your body bounce a little bit. Let your shoulders find a little soft looseness here. So if you feel like your shoulders are a little jumping up and down, let them do their thing. Let your fingers jiggle a little bit. Let your fatty tissue jiggle a little bit. And then if you can, just tune in and notice that vibration in your breath. So take a nice, big, generous inhale. Nice, slow exhale. 2 more cycles of breath here, just bouncing away. Nice. And then let everything come to stillness. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. If it feels good to do so, close your eyes down or just soften your gaze. And then just take a moment here to tune in. Notice your breath. And then before we move any further from this place, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Great. And then with that intention set, let your hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms are going to reach up and overhead, look to the sky. As you exhale, just bring your hands through heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands through heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up. And as you reach your arms up, think about lifting energy up from your feet. Pull it up through your fingertips and then exhale, hands through heart center, hands down at your sides. Two more just like that. Inhale, arms up, pull up from the soles of your feet. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to stay with hands at heart center. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms, and then just make a nice wide position with the elbows so you can drop the shoulder blades down, make some space, pull your abdominal muscles in, firm up your belly, and then press your palms forward. And then just tune in for a moment and notice. Notice that little stretch in your fingers, your palms, maybe your wrists. Great, and then soften your elbows again, make that wider position. Float your arms up and overhead, just go as high as feels good. And then before you straighten your arms or do any of that kind of stuff, notice your shoulders. And then if you can, snuggle your shoulder blades down, pull your abdominal muscles in nice and firm in your center. And then if it feels good to do so, press your palms up towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna start to take a little tick-tock side to side. So it might be a small movement, does not have to be extreme, but we wanna make sure we feel our weight evenly distributed between both feet. So if you're taking this little bend side to side and you notice that everything's shifting with you, can you make it a smaller bend and really focus on just keeping your weight even on both feet? Cool, take one more tick-tock side to side. And then come back to center, unlace your fingers, float your hands down, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. As we exhale, we're going to bend the knees a lot, hinge from your waist, fold all the way down to the ground. And then hang out here just for a second. Maybe pick up your belly, make a little space, and then soften into that fold again. Notice your low back here. So if you're already feeling sensation in the low back, or if you're feeling any sensation in the muscles of your butt, bend your knees quite a bit more, soften the back of your neck, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. From here, we're going to step it down into a tabletop position. So step one foot down and then the other. And then as you come into that tabletop position, rearrange yourself so wrists are in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. And then we're going to move right into a cat-cow breath here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round, and then just keep that breath going. Move with your breath's rhythm. Move at a depth and a pace that feels right in your body. And then if you like, just for a few moments here, close your eyes down so you can pay attention to sensation, noticing how your back feels, how your shoulders feel, how your wrists feel, and how your knees feel. Nice. Take 2 more cycles of breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, find a neutral spine. We're going to take it into a little crooked table. So left elbow and forearm are going to come down to the ground. Right hand's going to stay nice and long and tall. So you're going to push into your right hand so your right shoulder draws up and back just a little bit. And then shift your weight onto your left elbow and forearm and your left knee. And we're going to pick the right knee up and draw super small circles. So it doesn't even have to be high or hiked up or anything. Just draw your knee in circles, go in one direction. And then draw your knee in circles, go the other way. Nice. And then we're going to take it into a little fire hydrant. So we're just going to lift that right knee up out to the side, just as high as feels comfortable to go. And then right away, lower it right back down, lift into your tabletop position, and then switch to the other side. So right elbow and forearm down, press into that left arm so you get that nice little crooked table. And then just pick the knee off the floor, draw some circles in one direction. And then draw your knee in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then we're just going to take it into that fire hydrant. So lift the leg out to the side, just as high as you like, lower it back down with control, and then come right back up into your tabletop position. Awesome. And then we're going to take it into puppy pose. So keep your hips in line with your knees, walk your hands forward. So now we're close to the top edge of your mat. So your hands might come off of your mat. Let them do their thing, and then soften your chest and your forehead down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Cool. When you're ready, nice and easy, walk yourself back up into that tabletop position. And then we're going to take it into our child's pose or extended child's pose. So whichever version you like best. Big toes together, knees out to the edges of your mat, or big toes together, knees together. And then draw your butt back to your heels. Give a second, make some space for yourself, and then let everything settle in. If your legs are in that wider configuration, let your belly and chest soften down. If your legs are together, let your belly and chest soften over your thighs. With the legs together, you might notice a little bit more compression of breath in the belly and the chest. So there you might find that you can have a greater awareness of the breath in the backside of your body. With your knees wider, you might have a little bit of a different sensation. So just tune in and notice, where in your body are you feeling your breath? Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, lift yourself back up into a tabletop position. We're going to find our way into an easy seat from here. So if you like, if it's comfortable for your knees and your hips, you can crisscross your ankles behind you and then just sit back on your butt. But if you need to, just swing your legs around so that we can find that easy seated position. So legs crossed and then a nice tall spine. Once you've found your way there, right hand's going to touch down, left hand's going to reach up alongside your ear. Take a side bend over to the right. Try to keep both sit bones nice and evenly anchored on the floor. Pull that top thumb back, gaze up towards the ceiling, and take a nice big breath. Great. Now taking that top hand, we're going to round and reach, like we're reaching for something across the room. So think a 45-degree angle, reach, 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 and then pull that thumb back, gaze up towards the sky. And then let's do that again. Reach and round forward. Pull the thumb back, gaze up towards the sky. Awesome. One more just like that. Round and reach forward. Pull the thumb back, gaze up towards the sky, and then release. Left hand down, right hand reaches up. Take that nice side bend. Check your sits bones and just make sure they're nice and anchored on the floor. Pull that top thumb back, gaze up towards the sky. Awesome. And then take that hand round and reach forward. And then pull the thumb back. Beautiful. Round and reach forward. And pull the thumb back. Nice. One more time, just like that. Round and reach forward. Pull the thumb back. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then lift up. We're going to swim both hands behind the back. So nice tall fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chest, lift your chin, and then pause here for a moment and notice. So see if you can find an opening through your collarbones, through your chest. Think about this as like a nice opening for your heart space. And then just invite some warmth into the front of your chest. So if you can, tune in and notice, just notice that little bit of movement of breath, that physical action of breath in your chest and your collarbones. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then slowly release. Think about tucking the chin in, release your hands. Hands are just going to rest wherever is the most comfortable. And we're just going to start to drop the head from side to side. So think ear to shoulder, just to invite some looseness into the side of the neck. Cool. One more time each side, or even yourself out. And then as you bring your head back to center or neutral, now we're going to turn the head side to side like you're looking over your shoulder. Try to keep a nice tall lifted spine. One more time each side, just like that. And then we're going to add on to that movement. So now as you turn your head as if you're looking over your right shoulder, then you're going to pull your chin in like you're making a tiny little double chin. Lift your chin back up, turn your head over to the other side. Pull your chin in like you're making a little double chin. Lift your chin up and then rotate again. So turn your head to the right, tuck your chin in, lift your chin back up, turn your head to the left, tuck your chin in, lift your chin up, turn your head to the right, tuck your chin in, lift your chin up, turn your head to the left, tuck your chin in, lift your chin up, turn your head back to center. And now we're just going to lift our knees up to unwind that easy seat. And then we're going to grab the backs of the thighs and start to roll our way down to the ground. So curl your tailbone under, draw your abdominal muscles in nice and strong from your navel center. You're going to roll your way down with control. And if you like, push your hands into the outsides of your thighs to help keep your upper body engaged the whole way down. And then once you found your way down, just give a second to get nice and comfortable. Knees are going to be bent, heels nice and close to the butt, like we're going to take it into a bridge position. So get your legs set up and then give a second. Let your tailbone settle in. Let your shoulder blades find a nice happy place to be, and let your arms just come out in that anatomical position. So maybe 45 degrees away from the body, palms facing up. Take one or two more cycles of breath here, just inviting a little softness into your center. So think about letting go of any muscle tension in your abdominal muscles, letting go of any muscle tension around the front of your hips. Take one more breath. Cool. And then we're going to flip the palms. Palms are going to face down alongside the hips. So coming a little closer to the side of the body, and then move right into a pelvic tilt. As you exhale, press your low back into the ground, a little tilt to the pelvis so the tailbone curls up, quads get engaged, and then inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale and release. Exhale to press. Inhale to release. Exhale to press. Inhale, release. Take two more cycles of breath here. Nice. And then we're going to start to roll up into some bridges. So as you curl that tailbone up and exhale, lift your hips up nice and high. And then inhale, release and roll your spine back down to the ground. Exhale, roll your way up. Inhale and roll down. Exhale and roll up. Inhale, roll down. On this next exhale, we're going to roll up, stay lifted up. Take a second to readjust anything that you need to. Make sure the backs of your legs feel engaged. Glutes are given a little squeeze. Maybe rearrange your shoulders. And then we're going to take an inhale at the top of this bridge. Exhale, let all of your air go. And then at the end of that exhale, can you suck your belly in? So you'll feel that tug from the pelvic floor. Can you hold that hollow sucked in belly? Roll your spine back down to the ground. And then once your hips touch down, inhale and inflate your belly. Exhale, lift your hips up, come back up into that bridge position. Hold it at the top. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, let all that air go. At the end of your exhale, suck your belly in. Hold that sucked in belly. Roll your spine back down to the ground. Once your hips touch down, inhale and inflate your belly. Exhale, lift your hips up. Stay at the top. Inhale a nice big breath. Exhale, let all your air go. At the end of your exhale, suck the belly in. Hold that sucked in belly. Lower yourself down with control, maintaining that sucked in belly the whole time. And then once your hips touch down, inhale a nice big breath, let the belly inflate. Great. And then from here, pull both knees into your chest. One knee and then the other. Give yourself a light little squeeze and maybe a gentle rock side to side. Cool. And then hold on to your right knee. Let your left leg extend down to the end of your mat. And then we're going to anchor into our left leg. So think about flexing your left foot a little bit, pushing your left heel down into the ground. You might even feel your hamstring or the back of the left leg fire up just a little bit as you push that heel down into the ground. Take a moment to notice if you can. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then we're going to switch our grab on our right leg. So you're going to make a little basket weave. Hold on to the back of your right thigh. Push your thigh into your hands. Let your arms create a little bit of a resistance, like you're pushing your thigh down towards the floor. And then we're going to straighten the right leg, flex the foot, point the foot, neutral foot, bend and bring the leg down. This whole time we're pushing that thigh into the hands. Straighten your leg up, flex your foot, point your foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. And again, we're pushing the thigh into the hands. One more just like that. Reach your foot up, flex the foot, point the foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. Release that push in the thigh. Release your grab from the back of your thigh. Hug the knee into your chest. And then we're going to take it into a light supine twist. So first, relax your left leg. Take the right leg over and across the body. Let your right arm open out nice and wide. Take one big breath. Awesome. And then pull that right knee back into your chest. Bring the left knee into meet. So both knees come back into the chest. Give yourself a little gentle rock side to side. And then hold on to your left knee. Send your right leg nice and long. Anchor into your right leg. So think about flexing the right foot, pushing your heel down into the ground, feeling that fired up in the back of your hamstring. Notice the back of that right thigh. Awesome. And then switch your grab. So make that little interlace the fingers, push that left thigh into your hands, find a little resistance there, straighten your heel up towards the ceiling, flex your foot, point your foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. Keep pushing the thigh into your hands. Reach your heel up, flex your foot, point your foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. Lift your heel up, flex your foot, point your foot, neutral foot, bend and bring it down. Awesome. And then relax the back of the thigh, release your grab, pull the knee into your chest, and then into a light supine twist. Relax your right leg, bring the leg over and across the body, let your left arm open wide, take a nice big breath. Nice. And then pull that left knee back into the chest, bring the right knee into meet. And then we're going to keep the feet together. Knees are going to go away from each other. So think butterfly circles. Draw the knees out and away from each other, circle them up towards the ceiling, and then hug them back in. And then just kind of smooth that out. Take a couple of circles in this direction. Awesome. And then switch directions and go the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, hug both knees into your chest, give a light little squeeze, and then we're going to switch grabs. So we're going to start to find a little rock and roll, and then we're going to come up into a little supported boat. So hold on to the backs of the thighs. Think about pushing your thighs into your hands, keeping that nice balanced position if you can find it. Super. And then hold on to your left leg, release your right leg, push the heel forward, maybe extend your right hand out. And then bring it back in. Catch hold of the back of the thigh. Push your thigh into your hands. Release your hold from your left hand. Reach your left leg out. Awesome. Pull it back in. Grab the back of the thigh, pushing both thighs into the hands. And then if it feels good to do so, if you've got the good balance, releasing both thighs, stretching both legs out, maybe point the toes, flex the toes, whatever feels good. Take one more breath, and then we're going to crisscross the legs, coming back through an easy seated position. So can you crisscross your legs and then sit yourself up into that nice easy seat? Cool. And then once you found your way there, take an inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Inhale, lift your chin up and hold. Find a little stretch through the front of the neck and the throat. On your next exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest and then hold there. Keep the shoulders down and back. Let your forehead get nice and heavy. Beautiful. One more breath here. Awesome. And then lift your head up to a neutral position, and we're going to flippity do our way into a tabletop position. So if you can flip yourself on up, then scoot your knees around so you find that tabletop position. And once you're there, curl both sets of toes under, pull your butt back towards your heels, get a little stretch to the bottoms of the feet, and then come right back up into your tabletop position. Pull your butt back towards your heels, stretch the toes in the bottom of the feet, and then bring it right back up to table. One more just like that. Pull your butt back to your heels. Bring yourself on up and then release your toes. We're going to take it right into spinal balance. So left hand, right hand are going to reach forward. And then if it feels good, lift up. Beautiful. Release it back down with control. Take it to the other side. Left leg reaches out, right hand reaches forward. And then if it feels good to do so, lift up. Nice. Release that with control and then back to the other side. So left hand, right hand are going to reach out. If it feels good to do so, lift up. And then if it feels really great to do so, you're going to take your left hand and your right foot and you're going to bend and bring them together. See if you can touch and then reach it out nice and long. Beautiful. Do that again. Bend and bring it to touch and then reach it out nice and long. Awesome. And then on this next one, we're going to see if we can find a little handhold. So bend and bring it to touch and see if you can catch hold of your foot. If you've got hold of your foot and it feels okay to do so, push your foot into your hand and your hand is going to help resist. So you open up just a little bit more. Awesome. Release with control. Stretch the leg out, arm forward, and then release it into your tabletop with control. Bop your hips a little side to side, shake out anything you may have come across there. And then we'll do that to the other side. So left leg, right hand are going to extend out. If it feels good, you're going to lift up. And then if it feels really great, you're going to bend and give a little touch and then release it out nice and long. Bend and give a little touch and reach it out nice and long. Awesome. Bend and give it a little touch. And if you can, catch hold of the foot. And then if you've got hold of the foot and it feels okay to do so, push your foot into your hand. Hand resists just a little bit. So you open up a little bit more. Wonderful. Release with control, stretching the arm and leg out. And then float it all back down into your tabletop position. Big toes together, knees out nice and wide. Come to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels. Take 3 nice big breaths here. Nice. On your next inhale, lift yourself back up to a tabletop position. Rearrange your toes so that you can curl your toes under. And then when you're ready, lift yourself up into a downward facing dog. Take a few pedals of the legs here. Bend one knee and press into the opposite heel. Take one more pedal of each leg. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a ragdoll fold at the top of your mat. Feet about hip or shoulder distance apart. Make a little space for yourself here. And then give a little time to let your spine dangle. Let your head get nice and heavy. Take a couple nice deep breaths, just tuning in and noticing that breath in your body. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, soften your hands down towards the ground. Pull your big toe towards your heels. Engage that Pada Bandha. Lift from the soles of your feet. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Take your time. And then as you come up, just take a couple little shrugs of your shoulders. Make sure everything feels good. And then find your mountain pose at the top of your mat. Feet about hip or shoulder distance apart. Hands down at your sides. Gaze forward. Take a nice big breath. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Keep that half forward fold position. Walk your hands up. Find that crease of your hips, and then push your palms into your thighs like you're trying to push the crown of your head away from your tailbone. So find a little length in your spine. And then see if you can just draw your abdominal muscles in just a little bit to find a little firmness in your center, a little protection for the low back. Take one more moment here, just finding that little bit of strength. And then when you're ready, soften your knees, slide your hands down toward your toes. Beautiful. And then we're going to step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into a tabletop position. We're going to take one fire hydrant to the right. So pick your right knee right up and out to the side. Nice. Release that leg down and then over to the other side. Pick your left leg up and out to the side. Beautiful. Release it down. Curl both sets of toes under, lift up to downward facing dog. Right leg is going to lift up into a three-legged dog position. Bend your knee, let your hip roll open. Take one good breath. Beautiful. Release that foot down with control. And then we take it to the other side. Left leg is going to lift up. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Awesome. Release that foot with control. Back to your downward facing dog. Soften your knees, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold. Inhale to a half forward fold position. Exhale to soften all the way down. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Pull up from the soles of the feet. Lift up with strength. Roll your shoulders around, out and back. Nice. And then find your mountain pose again. Gaze forward. Come back to your breath. Nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. As it is at the half an hour mark, if you have to get on with the rest of your day, I hope that it's awesome. But if you're sticking around, find your mountain pose and we're going to pick up our pace just a little bit. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, soften and fold. You can bend your knees or keep them straight, whatever is going to feel good to you here. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back, low lunge. So we're going to bring the knee down to the ground. Toes tucked or released. That'll be totally up to you. Bring your hand to your front knee, lift your chest. Pull that left hip crease back, hips squared up, reach your arms up and overhead. Think about drawing your tailbone down towards your heels. Feel that nice little tug through the front of your right hip. Take a nice big breath. And now we're going to take it into a little twist. So left hand's going to find the left hip. Right hand's going to find the outside of the left knee. Rotate to the left, look over your shoulder, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then gently unwind. Hands are going to come down to the ground. We're going to take one half splits here. Pull your hips back, peel the front toes up, make a little bit of a stretch through the front of that leg. And then right away, rock yourself forward, curl your back toes under, pick your back knee up. Nice. Heart forward, look forward. Take a breath in this nice runner's lunge. And then when you're ready, plant your palms, step your front foot back to a plank. Lower your knees down right away, and then gently lower yourself onto your belly. Wonderful. Once you found your way down, just give a second. Wiggle out your bum, wiggle out your heels, wiggle out your shoulders. Make sure everything feels good. We're going to bend the knees and swish the heels a little side to side. So as you swish your heels side to side, can you tune in and notice your quadricep muscles, the muscles in the tops of your thighs? Maybe they're getting a little bit of massage against the floor. And then just check your low back and make sure this feels like a gentle and good movement for your low back. Nice. One more little swish of the heels side to side. And then we're going to keep the right knee bent. Left leg is going to lower to the ground. Can you reach your right hand back, catch hold of that foot, hug your heel in toward your butt, rotate, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Awesome. Release your hand hold from that foot and then switch. Bend your left knee, float your right foot down. Can you reach your left hand back, catch hold of that foot, hug your heel in toward your butt, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Beautiful. And then release your hold from that foot. Both hands down alongside your shoulders, elbows soften at your ribs. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more time here. Inhale and lift up. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. Curl your toes under. Either power up to a plank or take it through a tabletop position. And then find your way up to your downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up nice and high into a 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Take one good breath. And then we're going to step that right foot up to the top of the mat and then find our way into a low lunge position. So step that foot forward just as high as it goes, drop the back knee down, toes tucked or released, totally up to you. Hand to that front knee, lift your chest, pull that hip crease back, inhale, raise both arms up and look up. Awesome, and now we're gonna take a side bend here. So right hand's gonna find the hip, left hand's gonna reach up and then lean over to the right. Beautiful, lift up, release both hands to the front of your mat, curl your back toes under, pick your back knee up, and then step that back foot up to meet into a forward fold position. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg's gonna step back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, toes tucked or released, totally up to you. Hand to that front knee, lift your chest. Pull that hip crease back. Inhale, reach both arms up. Think about drawing your tailbone slightly downward toward your heel so we feel that little pull in the front of the left hip. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Now we're going to take it for a twist. So right hand's going to find the hip, left hand across that right knee, rotating to the right, maybe looking over your back shoulder. Nice. And then when you're ready, unwind. Hands are going to find the ground. One half splits here. Pull your hips back. Just go as far as feels comfortable. Awesome. And then rock yourself forward. Curl your back toes under. Pick the back knee up, finding that runner's lunge. Beautiful. Plant your palms. Step back to a plank. Right away, lower the knees. Lower with control onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower, either power up to a plank or take it through a tabletop position, and then find your way up to your downward facing dog. Left leg up into 3-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. And then we'll step that foot through to the top of your mat. So step it forward just as far as it goes, help it along the rest of the way. Drop that back knee down, find your low lunge. Inhale, lift your arms up. Beautiful, and then we'll take that side bend. So left hand's gonna find the hip, right hand stays up, lean over to the left. Nice, and then lift it back up, float both hands back down to the ground, curl the back toes under, pick that back knee up, back leg is gonna step forward into your forward fold position. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. And then we're gonna take a little balance from here. So you can stay right where you are if you like, or if you need a little wall or a chair, take a second to find your assist. And then we're just gonna shift our weight over to the left foot. Nice and simple to start. Just pick your right knee up, see where your balance is at right now. And then set that foot down, take it over to the other side. Shift your weight over, pick your left knee up, and just see where your balance is at on this side. Cool, and then set that foot down. Take a second, shake out anything that you need to, and then we're gonna take it back to that original foot. So shift your weight over to your left foot, pick your right knee up, and just see if you can reach forward, catch hold of the knee, hug it in for a little squeeze. Wonderful, and then release that foot down, shift your weight over to your right foot, pick your left knee up, see if you can reach up, grab hold of that knee and hug it in for a little squeeze. Nice, and then release that foot down. And now we're gonna go just a little bit further. So we're gonna take it into our hand to big toe pose. So shift your weight over to your left foot, pick your right knee up, see if you can take your right peace fingers and catch hold of your right big toe. And there you are, you've got the pose, nothing further to do here if you don't want to. But if it feels great and you want that little bit of fun, you're gonna stretch that leg out just as long as you can. Keep any bend in the knee that feels appropriate to you. And then if it feels really good to do so, you're gonna swing that leg out to the side. nice little shake. Shake out anything that you're holding on to, brush off your hands, and then find your mountain pose again at the top of your mat. Anchor into your feet, lift up through the top of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold everything down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to down dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into a tabletop position. Step the right leg out to the side, gate pose. Hands to your hips, come to a high kneel position. Right hand down on that thigh, left hand reaches up, take a little side bend. Beautiful. We're going to take that top hand, spin it around, find your hands into a tabletop position, and then we're going to pull the butt back towards the heels, keeping the right leg extended out nice and wide. So just come back as far as feels safe and comfortable, and then right away, push into the top of the foot and the shin, lift yourself back up with control, slide that right leg in, switching over to the other side. Left foot's going to step out nice and wide, hands to your hips, come to that tall kneel position. Left hand on the thigh, right hand reaches up, lean over to the left. Beautiful. Spin those hands around into your tabletop position, both hands down. And then when you're ready, pull your butt back toward your heels. Go only as far as feels good. And then right away, push into the top of the foot and the shin, lift yourself back up, slide that left leg in, give your hips a little bop side to side. Now we're going to find our way into our frog position, and I'll turn sideways just so we can get a visual, but we're going to start by stepping the feet out to a nice wide configuration. We want to try and keep our knees in line with the hip and keep a nice 90-degree bend in your legs. So start by walking your feet out as wide as feels good. Now, I generally like to just let my legs come off of my mat so I can like slide my knees and sink into it, but you're only going to go as far as feels comfortable, something that you can hold with strength and you can maintain a nice, even, steady breath. Once you've got a position that feels good, take a second to come back to your breath. Nice, big, generous inhale. Nice, slow exhale. Take one more breath. And then with control, start to bring it all back up and in. So think about pulling your abdominal muscles up towards the spine, engaging the abdominal muscles first. With control, walk your legs in, back into your tabletop position. And now we're going to take it into our cow face prep to start and then move into cow face pose if that feels good. So send your right leg out just straight from the hip. Take your left toes, swing them over to the right side of your mat. Take that right knee, tuck it behind your left knee so you get a little crisscross in the legs, knees stacked, toes pointing in opposite directions. Take a couple little rocks forward and back just to make sure that feels like a good enough position. And then pull your butt back towards your heels, keeping your hands down on the ground. Soften your chest, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Lift back up into your tabletop position, unwind your legs, and we're going to take that to the other side. Extending your left leg out straight from your hip, right toes over to the left side of the mat, tuck your left knee behind your right knee. Toes are now pointing in opposite directions. Rearrange that crisscross if you need to, and then just take a couple little rocks forward and back just to make sure that feels good. Nice. And then the next time your butt pulls back to your heels, stay there for just an extra breath, reaching through the arms, noticing your glutes. Beautiful. And then lift yourself right back up. Unwind those legs, give your hips a little bop side to side, make sure everything feels a little smushed out. And then we're going to come into that a little bit further, a little bit deeper if it's available. So shoot your right leg out for the hip, left toes over to the right side of your mat. Tuck your right knee behind the left, find that crisscross, make sure it feels good. And then see if you can sit all the way back onto your butt. And then once you found your way here, you might need to rearrange your knees, rearrange your feet, but make sure everything feels good. The leg that's on top, that hand is going to go on the bottom and your other arm is going to come up. So you're going to see if you can wrap your hands behind you and then see if you can either clasp your hands or just grab hold of your shirt. So one hand elbow is up, one hand elbow is down. And then once you feel like you've got a good position with the arms, with that little hinge from your waist, you're going to lean your heart forward. Take a nice deep inhale. Nice slow exhale. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, lift from the top of your head, let your heart follow, come up with a nice strong back, unwind your arms, and then we're gonna flip ourselves forward. So if you need to, push your hands into the earth to lift your butt up away from the floor, unwind your legs, take a second, give everything a little rock around, and then we're gonna take that right to the other side. So left leg is gonna extend out, right toes over to the left side of your mat, tuck that left knee behind the right, get your legs arranged so it feels good. And then if it feels comfortable to do so, you're going to sit yourself all the way back. Now, you might always choose to stay in that preparatory position instead. You just do the variation that feels the best to you. Rearrange your knees if it feels good to do so. Leg that's on top, that hand is going to be on bottom, reaching it behind you. Other hand is going to lift up, and then we're just going to pat ourselves on the back. So you find the handhold that feels the best to you. And then once you feel like you're there, lean your chest forward. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, lift through the top of your head, let your heart follow, come up nice and slow. Unwind your arms. And then if you need that a little assist, push your hands into the earth to lift your butt up and away. And then come back into your tabletop, unwrap your legs, and give your hips a little bop side to side. Nice. And now, since we did all that crisscross with the legs, let's come back to our frog pose, but only stay there for a lighter breath. So walk your knees out to the configuration that feels good to you. Let your body sink in for a second. If you can come down to elbows and forearms, go ahead and do so. And then take a moment to just take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Nice. And then when you're ready, pull the abdominal muscles and engage your shoulders. With control, walk your legs back in into your tabletop position. And then when you're ready, we're just going to spin those legs out to one side, sit back on your butt, extend your legs out nice and long, and give everything a little bounce. We're going to pick up the right leg and step it over and across the left. So you're going to step over the thigh and then lean into that left hip so you can swing your left heel over to your right hip. So we're going to get that little crisscross of the legs. Once you've found that way there, you're going to lift your left hand up. Your left elbow is going to hook across that knee and then find a nice big rotation here. So twisting to the right, hooking that elbow or extending the arm long. So you'll try whatever variation with that left arm that feels best to you. Take one more breath. Awesome. When you're ready, slowly and mindfully unwind, lean over onto that left hip so you can swing the left leg out, roll back onto your butt, step your right leg off, and give everything a little bounce. Great. And then we're going to do that to the other side. So we're going to pick that left leg up, step it over and across, lean over onto your right hip so you can swing your right foot over towards your left butt, and then sit back onto your butt. Nice. Right hand is going to reach up, clip that elbow across the left knee, and then rotate to your left just as far as you like. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully unwind, leaning over onto that right hip so you can scooch that right leg out and then step the left leg off, give everything a little bounce. And then we're going to bend the knees, scooch the bum forward, curl your tailbone under, grab the sides of your thighs, push your hands into the sides of your thighs, lower yourself as slow and controlled as you can, dragging your hands along the thighs. Nice. And then once you found your way down, give a second. Let your shoulders snuggle in. Let your feet find a nice soft place to land. We're going to take it into a figure four from here. So right leg is going to come across the left. Tune in just for a moment. Notice how that feels. And then if it feels good to do so, pick your left leg up, thread your hands through, grab the back of the thigh or the top of your shin. Take a moment just to invite a little softness in here. Soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. And then if you can find a little softness, take your figure four, draw it in some circles, go in one direction. And then take your figure four, draw it in circles, go the other way. Nice, and then let that come to stillness. Hug your legs in toward your chest, shoulders soft, jaws soft. Beautiful, and then slowly and mindfully release, stepping your left foot down, step your right leg off, pause for a second and just notice how one side feels a little different than the other. And then when you're ready, left leg across the right into your figure four position, pause there and just notice. And then if it feels good to do so, lift your right leg up, thread your hands through, grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, hug it in, make a little space for yourself, soften your jaw, soften your shoulders, soften your belly. Nice, and then if you found that softness, take your figure four, draw it in some circles, maybe going in one direction. And then maybe take your figure four and draw those circles the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, hug it in for one last little squeeze. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release. Right foot touches down, left foot steps off. Take a moment to notice. And then we're going to move right into supine twist. So pull the right knee into your chest, extend your left leg long, soften the left leg, take the right knee over and across the body, right arm opens out nice and wide. One more breath. And then you're going to pull the right knee into your chest. Can you take your right peace fingers, grab hold of that right big toe, back to that hand to big toe pose. So if you like, extend the leg straight out, keep any micro bend in the knee, especially if you've got any tightness in the hamstring, or if you feel any sensation in your butt. So we want to avoid that. So just straighten it just as much as feels right to you. And then we're just going to take the leg out to the right, just a little bit into a wide position, but something you can handhold and control. Take one good breath. And then when you're ready, pull that leg back in with control, bend your knee, release your handhold from that toe, and we're going to take all of that to the other side. So pull your left knee into your chest, extend your right leg nice and long. And then when you're ready, into your supine twist, left knee comes over and across the body, left arm opens wide. Beautiful. When you're ready, pull the left knee back into your chest. Left peace fingers are going to grab hold of that left big toe. You might be already happy here. If it feels good and you want that little bit of play, straighten your leg just as much as feels good. Just make sure you're not tugging too much against the back of the leg and no zinging in the bum. And then if it feels really good to do so, take it out to the left just as wide as feels good and you can control. Nice. And then when you're ready, with control, pull that leg back in. Release your hold from that foot, bend both knees, pull them into the chest, give yourself a light little squeeze, maybe a little rock side to side. Beautiful. And then set your feet down, toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat and take a few windshield wipers here, just dropping the knees gently side to side. Inviting just a little soothing back into the hips and a little soothing into the low back. So if you feel like you've had enough and you don't want any more movement for your body, you might opt to just come right into a constructive rest and chill out there. But if you want just a little bit more movement, we're going to take it into a half supported shoulder stand. So you're going to walk your feet in a little bit closer and then start to lift your knees up. We're going to find a little momentum. We're going to pick the butt up and then see if you can just catch hold of your low back or your hips. And once you've got that nice soft position, so we want to make sure we keep our head and neck straight from here on out. We're going to just drop the knees slightly towards the forehead. So rather than lifting the legs up into that big shoulder stand, we're going to keep it in this more supported position. So knees are soft towards the forehead, head is staying straight and forward. Take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to lower with control. So you might think about stretching your legs away from your butt, release your handhold, and then gently lower yourself back down. Float your feet down to the ground, and then just pause for a moment and notice. Notice your breath. Notice how everything feels. And then ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? So would you like to come into constructive rest? Do you want to walk your feet nice and long to the end of your mat? And again, my new cue for anyone who wants to take it into the reclined cobbler's pose, if you have 2 little pillows or yoga blocks available, stack them underneath the outsides of your thighs so you keep those legs supported so there's not too much yanking or pulling on the SI joint as we relax into that position. You take any variation of a nice restful pose that feels good to you, and then give yourself a second to settle in. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently wake up your fingers and wake up your toes. Invite a little movement into your head, into your neck. Maybe invite a deeper breath into your body. And then if your legs are extended longer in your reclined cobbler's pose, maybe walk your feet in so knees are bent, almost as if you're coming into a bridge position again. So just make sure your tailbone feels good. Rearrange your shoulders as needed. We're going to clap the hands together, bring a little fire into the palms. Get your palms nice and hot. Once you feel like your palms are good and warm, we're going to just place them gently over those front hip bones. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Bring your hands back together, fire up those palms, get them nice and good and hot. And once you feel like those hands are nice and good and hot, we're going to place them right on the low belly. So above the hip bones, but below the belly button. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. When you're ready, clap those hands together, fire up those palms, get them nice and good and hot. Once your hands feel good and hot above the belly button, below the ribs, so onto that solar plexus point, take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Clap your hands together, fire up those palms, get them nice and good and hot. Once they feel good and hot, right to the heart center. One hand right on top of the other. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Beautiful. Clap your hands together, fire up those palms, get them nice and good and hot. And then we're going to take it right to the throat. So you're going to just hook your thumbs like you're making a little shadow puppet butterfly. Clip your thumbs, gently cup your hands around your throat. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. If you're wearing glasses here for this moment, just take them off, set them somewhere safe. Clap your hands together, fire up your palms, get them super good and hot. Once you feel like your hands are super hot, we're just going to cup the hands gently over the eyes. Close your eyes down, take a nice deep breath. Beautiful. And then from here, we're just going to reach the hands together, interlace the fingers, Charlie's Angel Mudra, so that temple mudra, fingers pointing up, and then stretch your arms up and overhead, like you're taking a little bit of a yawn. So reach through the fingers, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release your hands, unclasp. And then if you were taking your glasses off, go ahead and put them back on. And then slowly and mindfully find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe Sukhasana with legs crossed or any other seat that feels good. Nice. And then once you've found your way there, hands right to heart center and Anjali Mudra. Bow your head to your heart. Bow your mind to your body. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday.